right, what is up, everybody? I am using a new streaming software again because I'm doing something a little different today. So I don't know if I can actually see how many viewers there are in the stream. Oh, wait, here we go. Okay, I'm getting things figured out here. So I think this is going to show who's in the stream or not. Yeah, we'll just hang out a little bit, and I don't think anyone is in here right now, but if you are, go ahead and send a comment so that I know that you are here and that I need to be aware that it's not reflecting the actual number of people in the stream. All right. Hey, Jennifer. Thanks for joining the stream. Hello from Utah. All right. I don't know what the weather's been like in Utah, but things have been pretty warm here in Virginia so far, at least for November. So I'm kind of glad for that, but I know the kids are wanting to have snow, and I'm sure you all have plenty of that in Utah, I guess, depending on where you are there. So I hope your week is going well so far. I do think, based on the discrepancy in the live studio as well as my streaming software, that I think there's like a 15-second delay between what I'm actually saying and what shows up for you. So if my responses to chat are a little bit delayed, please just recognize that I guess that's just built into the streaming software, and translating that across me recording the video and then broadcasting that to you all. Come on. I think Kitty wants to get up. But yeah, today we're going to be doing... Hey, Natalie. Thanks for joining the live stream. Today we are going to be doing an Enneagram test. I have not done an Enneagram before. I have heard a lot about it. From some people, I've probably heard too much about it. Okay, Kitty wants to get up. Come on up. Oh. Yes, so I'm going to be doing an Enneagram, and my extent of knowledge before doing a little bit of research over the past couple of days was that there are 9 numbers and they correspond to certain personality types. I think a good bit for how you deal with conflict is one of the main selling points in the Enneagram, and being able to be aware of that and adjust based on what fits your values. So I think that's where things like the Enneagram, things like the Myers-Briggs could be very helpful in helping us to know more about the boxes we typically fall in, and then how to make choices around that to best move towards our goals for growth and self-development. Hi. Uh-oh, I've got the Utah people throwing around code words. NSL. Well, I'll assume that Natalie knows what that means. So a couple of things that I actually learned about the Enneagram that I didn't know before as I was doing some of my preliminary research was that this was actually developed in 1915. I thought it was a really new thing, but I guess it turns out that that's not really the case. And of course, it's been modernized a little bit. I think there was a psychologist, North Salt Lake. I think there was a psychologist who modernized that a bit in the 60s, but it just really got a resurgence, I guess, back in the late, I guess I would say maybe 2010s or mid 2010s is when I started hearing about it. And then it just seems to have exploded from there. I don't know exactly what's been so attractive about it. Maybe if you all have had some experience with doing the Enneagram, what was it that drew you to it, and what sets it apart from other personality tests, maybe, because I'm curious about that. And I haven't previewed any of the questions, so this is going to be completely fresh for me. But basically, what I learned was that there you have one dominant type, and then you have a wing, which is like kind of a secondary type or something else that you kind of identify with, but is not your strongest, most dominant part of your personality. So there are three centers. There's instinctive, feeling, and thinking, and apparently those all correspond to different ways of how you engage with hardship or stress. And so apparently 8, 9, and 1 fall into that instinctive category, and they tend to respond to hardship with anger. Feeling encompasses numbers 2, 3, and 4, and they respond to hardship with shame. And then thinking encompasses 5, 6, and 7, and then they respond to hardship with fear. So I know I tend to respond to conflict with anger, and so I'm curious if my number ends up being in that 8, 9, or 1 category. So let's see how accurate that is. And I know this is going to be a slightly longer test. I think it was in the range of like 20 to 30 minutes. So I'm going to try to start now and kind of go quickly through it. Hope you all can see that pretty well. Okay. So the Enneagram Complete Test, this is on enneagramuniverse.com. So score the statements according to how true or applicable they are to you. Okay. Sounds good. Almost never, rarely, sometimes, frequently, and almost always. Yep. Pretty common stuff. Okay, 180 questions. We're going to move through this. Fear being criticized or judged as being improper by other people. Yeah, I do that sometimes. My wife will say this when I'm trying to follow rules too much and feeling like I'm very conscious of what other people will think about choices that we're making. Okay, D-Day thinks I'm a 1. Okay, I don't know what that means yet, so we will try to get to the end of this quickly and find out. When feeling anxious, I can be overly vigilant and controlling. I'll say yeah. Have difficulty seeing the gray areas of an issue and tend to see things in black and white. No, I think I try to understand the nuances in a situation. Enjoy the sense of independence that comes from living frugally. My wife will say yes, for sure. Proud about being direct, telling it like it is, and expressing tough love. Almost never. Even my clients will say, like, I try to set things up in a way that are maybe a kinder way of saying things. Have a strong sense of right and wrong and strive for perfection. I do have a strong sense of right and wrong. I don't usually strive for perfection, so let's go kind of in the middle there. I like people to depend on me and deliver on my promises. I think people end up depending on me, and I do deliver on my promises, but I don't know if I would say that I like it necessarily. So let's say there can be a homebody and enjoy the comfort and peace of home. Yeah, absolutely. Let me see if I can move my picture out of the way here. Here, maybe that'll work better. I hope that reflects. I just moved my picture so you can read all of the prompts. So hopefully that reflects in the live stream. I'm super sensitive to possessive people. They make me feel uncomfortable. Okay. I think so. I don't think I've been around too many overly possessive people. Motivated by the need to protect myself and my loved ones, to be powerful and in control of my life. Yep. Love to work and be productive, and work has tended to be a top priority in my life. I do like being productive, but if we're talking about work as employment, that has almost never been a top priority in my life. I'm always pursuing other kind of leisure activities or creative activities. So let's go not as much here. Tend to be a workaholic and a perfectionist. Almost never. See no value in enduring suffering and pain and try to avoid it. I definitely disagree with that, especially in the mental health field. I think we lean a little too much towards avoidance of pain and discomfort, and a lot of times what we need is to actually move towards that. Not in a masochistic way, but just as a way of recognizing that some emotions don't feel comfortable and that we still have to acknowledge and understand those. Tend to see the glass as half empty and look for what needs fixing. Yeah, I can see that. Motivated by the need to maintain peace of mind and harmony in my life. Yeah, definitely. Hate to be bored and avoid doing boring, mundane things. Yeah, I think that reflects in having a lot of different pursuits. So I like to change my pace up a little bit, and that's also why work tends not to be the top priority for me. Tend to be more comfortable expressing ideas than emotions, especially spontaneously. Yep. Tend to be insightful, objective, and sensitive when not stressed. Okay, yes, when not stressed, I can definitely be those things. Rational, reasonable, and accepting when not stressed. Yeah, I would say so also. Tend to be possessive and demanding when stressed. I don't think so. I'll demand more of myself, but not so much of other people. May hesitate while I try to organize my thoughts and may not speak at all if I'm not comfortable with what I want to say. Um, I used to be a lot more so here, but I think I've tilted more in the opposite direction where I'm willing to be unready when speaking. And I guess YouTube has a lot to do with that in doing lives for sure. When misunderstood, can become withdrawn, self-conscious, and or rebellious. I can become withdrawn, self-conscious not as much, rebellious. Yeah, okay, I can go with that. Value exceeding standards and rising to the top of my profession. I don't know, counseling's not very conducive to rising to the top of my profession. Um, I don't think that's really me. Enjoy having control of my own time and private space. Yeah, absolutely. People may find it difficult to follow my train of thought. I don't think so. I feel like my train of thought tends to be pretty conventional. Motivated by being outstanding and being recognized for my personal success and achievements. Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that. Can feel angry even though I might look peaceful. It depends on who I'm with. Motivated by the need to be appreciated, loved, and connected to people. Am I motivated by that? I think I'm motivated by appreciation. Dislike confrontation, try to keep the peace. Yep. I'm uncomfortable expressing emotions other than anger. But generally, I'm not comfortable expressing emotions at all, which is funny for a counselor to say. So I'd say that's mostly not true. Tend to be open-minded, receptive, and very patient when not stressed. Yeah. Tend to do things in excess and to always want more. When it comes to stuff that I really enjoy, I'd say yes. I'm assertive and like to compete and win. I like to compete and win. When I'm playing sports, I can be very assertive. So let's go with a middle there. Feel envious of other people's relationships, lifestyles, and accomplishments. I don't feel like I'm generally envious. Prefer being with people to being alone. This is again one that's changed over time. I would say right now, probably this is true, but I used to be a lot more introverted. Tend to be shy and withdrawn, especially at social events. No, not true. And by the way, I'm not keeping up with the chat as much, so I'm going to try to continue being on top of that. Too much to do or too many decisions to make can make me angry, anxious, or depressed. Yes, I feel like when choices become overcomplicated, then that makes me a little frustrated and impatient. Tend to worry more than other people. No. Enjoying supporting the careers. You should have your wife take the test. Yeah, I was actually thinking about that, Lotus Fong, that I recently, let me take a pause real quick on the test. I recently recorded a video where I took a Myers-Briggs, and I said that very thing, that we have a perception of ourselves that may not match up exactly with reality of how we answer these questions. And so if we have a loved one or trusted one take these about us, I think that might in some cases lead to a more honest result than one based on our self-perception. I will see if I can convince her to get on camera sometime. Enjoy supporting the careers of people whom I care about and who deserve it. Yes. Tend to procrastinate and ignore problems or brush them under the rug. I can ignore problems. I tend not to procrastinate much, though. By the way, anyone else who is new, who just joined the stream, welcome. I'm just going through this Enneagram as quickly as I can because, as you can see, there's 180 questions, so I am not trying to make this last all night. Tend to spin the facts and be overly self-promoting when stressed. No, I don't tend to do that. Have lots of friends and acquaintances and support them by cheering them up. I'm not great at cheering people up, which again is weird for a counselor to say. But yeah, that's not as much me. I can support them. I do not cheer people up. Can be forgetful, neglectful, and fuzzy about details. I can be fuzzy about details. My wife is very detail oriented, and she'll pick out stuff about my videos, but I'm just trying to get it done and get them out there. But I tend not to be forgetful or neglectful either. So I'll say more often than not. That's not true. Have acted inappropriately, undisciplined, and are rebellious when stressed. Inappropriately, sure. Undisciplined, I don't know. Like to be on the go and may appear hyperactive to people. I don't think so. Manners and good taste are extremely important to me. Sure. Suspicious of others and wonder about their motives. No, I tend to see better motivations in people than I think most people do. Impatient with people who are indirect or indecisive. Yes, that is true. Friends and family provide the support I feel is necessary in life. Sure. Feel different from others, as if on the outside looking in. No. Tend to go overboard in the pursuit of fun and pleasure. I don't think overboard. It'd be nice to be able to do that sometimes. Value the belief that everything is going to be all right, yet often lack faith in this belief. That seems very specific. I don't think that's true of me. Tend to socialize with people who are interested in the same things that I am. Yeah, sure. Giving feels more comfortable than receiving. No, routine and structure help me stay focused and accomplish things. Yeah, absolutely. This is actually something that I feel is generally true for people. But I think getting to the point where you have that routine and structure is where it's difficult for a lot of my clients. I'm extremely protective of my loved ones and feel good about helping the underdog. I don't know why those two are kind of put together in the same statement, but yes. Tend to be suspicious, anxious, and defensive when stressed. I will get defensive when stressed. Suspicious and anxious, not so much. Enjoy analyzing things, gathering data, figuring out what makes things tick. Sure. Tend to be more emotional. No. I'm outing myself as a counselor right now. Oh yeah, and children on routines, absolutely. That is super helpful. In our parenting life, having routines and structure is super important. Like doing more than one or two things at a time. Enjoy multitasking. I don't enjoy multitasking, but I do like jumping between different activities and creative pursuits and leisure pursuits over, different periods of time. So I would say no. When I'm doing one thing, then I'm usually just focused on that one thing. Okay, I think Kitty's done. Kitty, he doesn't really multitask either. Safety and security are priorities in my life. Yes, I like predictability. Tend to be romantic and long for the great love of my life to come along. I think she has already, but I'm not very romantic in general. Tend to be overly sensitive. No. Feel I must take charge because I'm the strongest and most decisive person in the group. That happens to me sometimes. When I trust people, I can let down my guard and be more sensitive. Yeah. Tend to be idealistic and ambitious and want to contribute something positive to the world. Yeah, I think that's fair to say about me. Listen patiently and can be very understanding and comforting to friends. Yes. Strive to be unique and have done things to avoid being ordinary. I feel like I've done a lot of things that are out of the ordinary. For instance, I went out to play for a semi-professional basketball team last year around this time, but I don't do that as because I'm motivated to do something out of the ordinary. It was just something that really captured my interest. Find it difficult to forgive and can carry a grudge for a long time. No. Tend to be rebellious, controlling, and insensitive when stressed. I don't think so. Have a strong sense of responsibility, and I'm a hard worker. Yes, I think that's very true. Believe it is important to understand my own and other people's feelings. Sure. Have ideas, theories, and opinions about almost everything. I don't think so. A lot of times I don't generally have a formed opinion, and I can kind of develop that by hearing other people's thoughts and feelings about it. But generally I don't form my own very strong opinion about stuff by myself. Look for danger, unsafe people, or unsafe situations. Like, am I seeking those out, or I'm just like more aware of them? I think in either case, never. Morals and ethics are more important than compassion and tolerance. Oh, that's difficult. I make my living on YouTube reacting to counselors who haven't done the right thing. Morals and ethics are more important than compassion and tolerance. I think in a personal setting, I would say I lean more towards compassion and tolerance. In a professional setting, I think if you're a professional, you set yourself to a higher standard, and so the morals and ethics matter more there. Attracted to what is intense and out of the ordinary. No, that's not me. Avoid expressing negative feelings and like to compliment and flatter people. I don't think I'm a flatterer, but I do appreciate complimenting people if it's founded. Have difficulty understanding why people settle for second best. This is something that does bug me with clients sometimes, that they're willing to settle for like, oh, well, this is just my pattern, so I'm okay with it. So yeah, I think that's... Have trouble saying no to requests. Yes. Christmas time, we have a lot of holiday stuff going on, and yeah, saying no to requests is difficult. Making decisions on my own may cause me anxiety. Never. Easygoing, laid back, and optimistic, I'd say so. Tend to be energetic, self-confident, and helpful when not stressed. Yep. Would rather be respected than liked. By peers, I would say I appreciate being liked more. Attracted to habits and routines, yes. Can easily relax and tune out reality through TV, daydreaming, a good book. Yeah, sure. This Enneagram so far is very interesting in like some of the things that they tie together in some of these concepts. I haven't seen that on any other personality test. Need to feel close to people and feel rejected and hurt if I don't experience that closeness. I don't think that tends to bother me so much. Take pride in being... Yes, this is definitely me. Self-disciplined, moderate, and fair. Tend to be withdrawn, forgetful, stubborn, and passive-aggressive. No. Dislike people nagging me. This makes me quite stubborn. Yes, my mom and wife can attest. In a relationship, it has been difficult for me to trust the commitment of the other person. No. Motivated by the need to acquire security and social support. Sure. See myself as caring and helpful and like to make people feel special and loved. I don't think I'm naturally caring and helpful, but I do like to make people feel special. People see me as courageous and look to me as a natural leader. I talked about this in the video I recorded for the Myers-Briggs as well. I find myself in leadership positions, but I'm never looking for them. So I guess we can go with, let's put that right in the middle there. I'm told I'm a nice person and dislike putting myself first. I think that's true. Can be critical, cynical, and argumentative, and can act intellectually superior. I hope not. Can be too serious and like... My wife will say absolutely. Like feeling indispensable and helping others become successful. Yes. Sensitive to criticism, but try to hide that sensitivity. I think I can be sensitive to criticism in certain arenas. Thrive in environments where I can express my creativity. Oh, welcome to my live stream, right? Motivated by the need to be correct, fair, and self-disciplined. Yeah. I like expressing my power and being the boss and or being in charge. No. Value looking good, presenting a good first impression, and dressing for success. Yes. Value finding the most practical, effective way to do a job. Yes, absolutely. Tend to be intolerant, inflexible, and demanding when stressed. No, I don't think so. Stand up for what I want and need in life. I think when the situation demands it, but I have to really feel like it's something I actually need, not just something I want. In relationships, I seek harmony and peace through a sense of belonging and or by bonding with the other person. Sure. Try to avoid confrontations. In peer relationships, yes. Professionally, kind of can't. Enjoy spending time alone, pursuing my personal interests. Yep. Tend to be loving, caring, and supportive when not stressed. I think so. Motivated to feel excited, satisfied, and happy and to do and experience more. Love to be challenged and enjoy a good fight. Nah, I don't think so. Feel that life is to be enjoyed and I'm optimistic about the future. Generally, yeah. Getting a product to market before the competition is more important than holding it back until it's perfect. Ooh, yeah. So I see this like very clearly in creating my YouTube videos. I try to get things out as quickly as I can, get the job done rather than polishing it until it's like the perfect video, which like I haven't even figured out what the perfect video is. So in that case, it's fine that I'm okay with things not being perfect. Tend to be more logical than emotional. I think that's usually the case. People feel comfortable telling me their problems. Well, I certainly hope so. I like to be gracious, outgoing, and connected with people. Yes. Tend to be excited and impatient about accomplishing plans. Yes, this is something that is different from me and my wife. I think when I have a course that I have a plan for, an idea for, I usually just try to start going on it, even if we don't have everything perfectly planned out. Work hard and know how to get things done. Yes. Rely on facts rather than emotions to make decisions, usually. Tend to be honest, competent, and charming when not stressed. The charming I'll leave for my family and friends to be able to give feedback about. I think I'm generally honest and competent, at least. Creative and have an artistic view of life. I feel like I'm creative. I don't know if I have an artistic view of life. Let's put that in the middle. Believe that rules, regulations, policies, and procedures have a purpose and should be followed. I'm frustrated when others break rules. Yeah, that's me. So far, I gather that I'm a first child, which I actually am. Have a strong need to be noticed, liked, and appreciated for what I do for others. Yes. Need to feel stimulated and like new, fun, exciting, different things. Yeah. Prefer people not to know how I feel or what I think unless I tell them. I think that's true. I tend to be a little more reserved about my own opinions and thoughts. I doubt my own decisions and opinions about myself. Well, isn't that a test case in doing this on a live stream? Tend to be fun-loving, imaginative, and optimistic when not stressed. Personal integrity is extremely important to me. Absolutely. In intimate relationships, I value being told that I'm loved and wanted. Being told that? I don't think I respond as much to being just told that. I think the actions more show that to me. I've been told that I am not in touch with my emotions. Yes, that's true. Enjoy having elegant, refined, unique things that no one else has. No, I don't really care about that. Get tired easily and would love to take time during the day to relax and renew my energy. I do get... Well, I mean, is this just like a parenting question? Or like, I feel like most parents get tired easily and would love to take time during the day to relax and renew their energy. People have seen me as overly dramatic. I certainly hope not. When I find work that I like, I can be very productive and enthusiastic. Yeah. Good at marketing and selling myself and my ideas. This I actually don't think so. I tend not to toot my own horn, as it were. So if I've got somebody who wants to do some marketing for me, please feel free to do so. I don't have the budget to hire someone yet, though. I have difficulty admitting that I'm wrong. Yeah, true. Dislike being around pessimistic, negative people. This one's hard because a lot of my work revolves around this, but it's actually true. I tend not to like being around those people as much in my free time. Have difficulty making decisions because everything looks good. No. Value being well organized and punctual in myself and others. Punctuality is the cause of many a conflict in my marriage. When afraid of something, I've done what was necessary to overcome my fear. Yes. Like taking risks and the excitement of competition. Yeah, I love to compete. Want to be number one, and I'm confident in my abilities. I don't feel like I have to be number one, but I generally feel pretty confident in my abilities. So let's put that in the middle. Uncomfortable around loud, emotional people. I think I'm generally comfortable around them because they tend to take up more of the spotlight and I don't want as much of the attention. I'm just checking in on the chat real quick. Do not consider being a perfectionist a negative thing and like to make sure all the details are just right. No, I tend to think people who are perfectionists, and maybe this is just dealing with a lot of anxious clients, I've gotten a really bad taste about people who say that they're perfectionists because it can lead to being very paralyzed when it comes to actually getting things done and turned in or completed. Enjoy trying many things and can do many different things fairly well. I think that's very true of me. Tend to take things too seriously and overreact to small issues. That can happen. Work very hard at maintaining relationships. I think so. Easily annoyed by people who act unintelligent or uninformed. Yeah, sure. Try to prepare for every contingency. I don't think so. Find it easy to adapt to different people and situations. Easy to adapt. Yeah, okay. Believe that competition is a good thing and tend to be very competitive. I do believe that competition is a good thing. But I think it does have its place and time. I like to leave my options open. Don't hem me in describing well. No, I'm not worried about that. Believe that my motives for helping others are noble and helpful. Well, I think most people like to think that. I become frustrated if there's not enough time to do all the fun things I want to do. Yeah, but again, that's kind of parenting life, isn't it? Value strength and autonomy, taking pride in taking care of my own needs and expect others to do the same for themselves. Yes. Even in my counseling work, I do like one of the highest values that I want for my clients is that independence where they don't need me anymore. Have been goal oriented for as long as I can remember. Yes. Believe it is important for people to be with other people or to belong to a group or an organization. Yes. Again, in the mental health space, I highly value communities, things like AA, or just having like a spiritual or a family community or a peer community. That can be super helpful for almost any mental health condition. Tend to be compassionate, expressive, and supportive when not stressed. Yeah. Can be caught in a fantasy world of romance and imagination. Oh, that is not me. Tend to be distant, stubborn, and pessimistic when stressed. Yes, I can be distant. Tend to be caring, warm, and loyal when not stressed. Yep. Tend to be reflective and to search for the meaning of my life. I don't worry too much about the meaning of my life. I think some of that comes from the faith and the faith that I hold to, and some of that is that I've done. I don't know. Maybe some of it is just kind of provided for me through the spirituality aspect. I like to entertain and enjoy telling stories and getting laughs. No, I do not enjoy telling stories, actually. To impress, I may take on too much and make promises I can't keep. I try not to do that. Tend to go along with what people say just to get them off my back. That will happen for sure. Consider relationships the most important part of my life. I'd say they're up there. I'm not gullible. You must earn my trust and I will challenge your loyalty. I don't think I do that. Don't mind working alone. Enjoy being self-sufficient for sure. Feel that something is missing in my life. Generally, I don't think so. Know how to get people to like me. I got the impression that most people seem to like me, but I don't know if I'm just hanging around people that I'm comfortable with, so that could go either way. Talkative, playful, and at times uninhibited. That doesn't usually happen for me. May do routine and unimportant things before I tackle an important job. No, if there's an important job, I'm usually setting down to do it right away. Can act like a martyr when not appreciated. No. Critical of myself and find it easy to be judgmental and critical of other people as well. No. Don't really trust anybody I haven't known for a long time. No. Tend to be moody, withdrawn, and self-absorbed when stressed. That can be true. Easily discern what is wrong in a situation and how it could be done better. Maybe. That again, I would depend on feedback from other people to say. Believe that negative feelings are an obstacle to getting the job done. I think they can be. I think that's a wash there. Tend to experience more melancholy than most people I know. I don't think so. Can be deeply hurt by the slightest criticism. No. When feeling relaxed, I tend to be friendly and responsive to people. Yeah, sure. Okay. Oh, complete this form. Okay. Let's see. What email should I use? Let's go to here. Agree to terms and conditions. Okay, let's see what our results are. Type 5, the investigator. Okay, for those of you who are familiar, let's see. How do I go to... I'm just trying to see who's still in here. Okay. The thinker, innovator, observer, type 5. You are part of the head triad. The one who wants to reveal how the world works and to unveil the mystery of life but is afraid of the biggest mystery, you. Oh, okay, interesting. Let's see. Type 5 goes into the thinking category, where fear is the typical response to conflict. Core desire to be capable or competent, and core fear is being incompetent. I think I can see that for myself. Oh, they have a video and everything. Aaliyah, did you say you were type 5 as well? Gaze at the space and wonder about the highest matter, seek the more complicated answers. Think that the best you know the world around you, the safer it will be. The truth is that you desire to be an expert in the field of your interest. Doing it right is not enough. You need to go beyond, break the wall, and take a leap into the unknown. Being useful, competent, and capable of something, leaving your mark. I don't know. As I'm reading this, some of this doesn't really resonate with me. It could have been just how I answered some of the questions, but yeah, I would say, yeah, Jennifer, I agree. That sounds like a good personality for a therapist, wanting to be impactful, it sounds like, and being able to engage with deep ideas and thoughts. Um, okay, I do hate the idea of being useless. I think that's what they're saying about the fears does resonate with me. Um, but yeah, this idea of having to become an expert, I don't know, that doesn't quite hit for me. Oh yeah, here we go. Download your personalized premium report. Okay, let's see. High innovation, generally curious and willing to learn new skills. I think that's true. Like I said, I love doing a bunch of different activities. That's where this YouTube channel came out of, playing different sports, playing music. So I have a lot of different interests and definitely have a high willingness to learn new skills. Social, I thought that would actually be higher. Um, but I think it's true that I tend to have a smaller social circle and I do need alone time, but I thought it'd be more on the 50-50 end of things. Observant, enjoy observing others. I guess that's a helpful trait in a therapist. How do I love? Let's see if they have a chart for this. Oh, okay. Let's look at this wing here. Enneagram 5 wing 4 or Enneagram 5 wing 6. Does this mean I'm both of these? Okay, let's see. The iconoclast. Man, you feel its fundamentals to find your origin by seeking your inner brilliance path. Here the balloon is how you disconnect yourself from everything and dwell with your brain waves. Then the fours breeze kicks in and refreshes your mind by giving you some insights of feelings. Well, that's interesting. I generally feel like I'm more of a grounded person, so I don't know if that iconoclast type fits for me. Wing 6, let's see the problem solver. If you're hanging off a balloon, it won't take long till you analyze and understand how and why it flies and which forces are involved. Let go of the thread when you hit the ground. You become very practical, handy, and curious. The discipline you have drives you to discover valuable things as you love solving problems. I'd say I'm more along the lines of the Enneagram 5 Wing 6, but I'm not much of an engineer in the way that they framed it either. The average 5, you're like an old man that scares away kids that are just playing in his front yard. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure there are so many different articles about type 5. So that definitely merits some more exploration. I want to see if they get into anything about conflict and stress. Uh, okay, yeah, so the unhealthy 5, it looks like there's a lot of withdrawal from social connection from the world. Okay, I like this that they have tips to help you grow. So that was one of the things when I was recording my video about the MBTI is that I think people see their personality type and they feel boxed in by it. They're like, oh, well, this is what I am. Instead of it being a descriptive kind of thing, they find it to be prescriptive, like, oh, I should be more like this person that this website describes. So definitely, if you're going to take a personality test, take it with a grain of salt. Like it could have some helpful insights, but again, if some of this stuff doesn't ring true for you, it just doesn't ring true and it's fine. Your main challenges, how to address them. Connect. Dedicate at least 1 hour to do something that involves physical activity to connect with your whole body. I'm gonna tell my wife this. I already work out every morning, but I love playing basketball, also playing different sports, and that is one of the ways I definitely connect with both myself physically and with peers, with my friends. Awareness. When a feeling comes up, count to 10 while facing it with scientific curiosity, but a compassive attitude. That's an interesting word. Yeah, so being mindful for sure, healthiness, start updating people on your thoughts and ask them about their projects. This will make room for long, soul nurturing chats. Okay. Okay, so sharing a little bit about my internal thought process as well as being willing to hear about theirs. Okay. Okay, so it looks like their thing for fives is being too caught up in myself. That's something that I would have to be aware of. Interesting. Well, there's a lot of content in here. Okay, here we go. Compassion, compatibility with other types. Let's see. Oh, does this get into that? Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. Enneagram Type 5. Okay, so I can look at this and see how it pairs up with other. I'm not going to get into all that. But suffice to say, that's a pretty cool website. I will link this website in the description. I don't think I did it yet, so I'll do that after the live stream is ended so you all can check this out for yourself. I was definitely rushing through it, but it looks like you can get it done if you're really hustling along and not having to read everything out loud in about 30 minutes. So yeah, definitely interesting. I like that it seems with the Enneagram, it seems to have more actionable items rather than just like, this is what you like that you get from some of the more old school kind of personality tests. So I don't think I don't think I'm a full convert yet to the Enneagram, but I definitely see how people can find it really interesting and fascinating as they want to learn more about themselves and their relationships. Let me switch back to here. But yeah, I do want to leave some time for just some Q&A or just any questions you all have about this process or just anything else. And I know I've done a lot of talking today, so if you all have anything that you would like to share or talk about, it doesn't even have to be personality test based. Just any questions about therapy or mental health that we can engage with today. And again, I don't know how delayed my chat may or may not be, so I'm just going to give this a little bit of time here. And I'm also just playing with my streaming software right now. When you were in school, did they have you take any personality tests? I don't think they actually did. I think there was a personality theory class that was an elective, and I didn't end up taking it. But I do think that will, now that I'm thinking about it, I became a board certified or something, board approved supervisor this year. And so that, Aaliyah, I could see being something very helpful just as a point in supervision to take a personality test, talk about the results and how that influences how I see clients, how I present myself in session, how I deal with clients that I may not agree with or have a conflict with or am feeling frustrated with. So I think, yeah, absolutely, that could be super helpful in the counseling development process as someone works to know themselves better. Oh yeah, thank you so much. It was definitely something that I've been interested in doing, and now I just need to figure out how to get supervisees. Well, yeah. So thank you all for tuning in. This was a pretty fun thing to do. I don't I don't fancy talking this much every single time because that was a lot of reading, a lot of questions. But definitely really cool to learn a little bit about myself, reflect on some of those things and some of my tendencies here today. So thank you all for joining for that. And be on the lookout for the Big Five. Oh, I have not. No, like I said, I don't know why. I just never got too much into those personality tests. So I think those might be worth exploring. Um, I may start incorporating that more with some of my clients now that I'm thinking about it. Hmm. Yeah, Aaliyah, you've given me some stuff to think about. But yeah, thank you all for joining again. Um, be on the lookout for the video that I'm going to be releasing about the Myers-Briggs personality test. I'll be taking that in that video. Um, do check out the podcast, please. We just released a video yesterday with Amy Baker Music. And she was talking about her story with struggling through mental health and suicide. And then, really special treat, she performed one of her newest songs live, and I got to dabble in some sound recording and doing some audio tech work for her. So that's at the end of that video. Go ahead and listen to that music video because she's got a pretty awesome voice and pretty great songwriting. So please check that out. That's the most recent video that we just released yesterday. So thank you all for joining tonight. Thank you all for watching me do this. And I will see you all next time.